Good morning and welcome. Actually, it's only just about morning, but good morning and welcome. My name is Sussex Sandra, and today I am bringing you another foundation review. It's actually a foundation that has probably been around about a month. I know I've definitely been seeing videos on YouTube from my American counterparts. I haven't seen anybody from Europe actually review this product as yet, but there is a reason for that, and that's mainly because it's not so easily available over here. The product I'm talking about is from LA Colors, and it's the LA Colors Truly Matte Foundation. Right, can you see that? So I've got the product in the shade Cappuccino, and it is described as LA Colors Truly Matte Long Wearing High Pigment Foundation. It comes in 1.35 fluid ounces, so it's a third more than you normally get. Most liquid foundations come in 1 fluid ounce, 30 mils. So this is 1.35 fluid ounces, 40 mils. So you're getting a significant amount more. Wait till I tell you the price. I've got it in the shade Cappuccino, as I said, which is also described as CLM, is that a C again? 83. Right, there you go. It has a pump, as you can see. There you go. And I'm also going to admit that I've actually tried this foundation already. I've been wearing it for 2 days already, so this is the third day. It's Wednesday. So I really wanted just to see how it performs. So today I wanted to show you the results of that, and I'll give you my final opinions on how it's performed on the first 2 days as well. I hope you don't mind that, but what I wanted to do is just see how the foundation will over 2 days, and I can tell you now I am already liking this foundation. There are a couple of pitfalls with it, but I think the benefits outweigh the pitfalls, but you shall see what I mean in this day. I'm actually starting quite late today because I'm actually on a sick day at home, and I just had to pull myself out of bed because there's only so much time you can spend in bed. So I'm actually not looking that great. I don't know if you can tell, but I don't feel that great at the moment, so it's a very minimum day for me today, and I thought I don't want to just do nothing all day, so let me at least do this. So here we are. Shall we crack on? Let's do that. So obviously I've washed and cleansed my face, so it's a case of priming my face now, so let's do that. I got a primer which I received in, I think it's a pink parcel box. Let me get that out. I did want to try this out. So this is the primer I received in my February pink parcel. It's by Evelyn, I think it's called. I think it's Evelyn it's called. And it's a green tea primer, prep and protect, and it's a vegan. It was a decent sized sample. I mean, I'd call this travel size. One of the things I did notice about the tube when I opened the box is that when you hold it up to the light, there is literally, so this is the tube, right? And there is that much product in there. So over half, there's that much product in there. So over half of this is empty. That's not good, is it? That really isn't good. That's just wastage. And you just kind of think, I don't know, with a company that's vegan, I don't know if I should put these links together, but I always think people who are vegan are going to be a little bit more green, a little bit more sustainable. I just think that's a whole waste of package. So there's what? They're saying 20 mils in there. And how much is in this little sample here? In this sample is... Oh right, okay, right. This just shows how ridiculous this amount is. Right. So they're saying there's 20 millilitres of the product here in this big everlasting tube, right? In this small Smashbox product, there is 21 mils. Look at the size difference. So you see what I mean when I say about wastage? So I'm just waiting for this product to settle. Yeah, it's literally about here. That's where the product comes up to. So well over half of this is empty. And there's more in this little tube than there is in that. That's just something I think companies need to think about, but that's by the by. But it's the kind of thing that annoys me. I don't like seeing wastage for no reason. So there we go. I am going to try... Right, because they've already annoyed me with the packaging, I'm going to try this one. I'll do the Smashbox one on another day, I promise. Right, okay. Oh, and it comes out all spurty and aggressive. It's like it knew I was talking about it. It looks like vomit. Look at that texture. Oh, that looks like... I tell you what that looks like, something I haven't seen in a long time, but yeah, it comes from men. That just looks gross. I'm sorry, that just looks gross. Yeah, that is just gross looking. Okay. It's very moisturising. Let me see if I can use up some of the spillage of my spunky primer. And I think, I'm trying to remember how much it costs. I think the full tube of this stuff is something like £28. So it's not a cheap product. So it better be good. Okay, so I've massaged this in, just making sure there's no weird edges. Because I know in one of my videos I did last week, I had the dried primer all down here. Okay, so that's that. So it's moisturising, this primer. And it looks like it's absorbing well, so that's always a good sign. Okay, let's put my mate on. So it's a Becca Evelyn Matte Poreless primer. This primer is like a holy grail for us oily skinned girls. In case I didn't say, if you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. So I am a woman of a certain age. I am well over 45, going towards a big 50. I have got incredibly oily skin, really oily skin, with blemishes and hyperpigmentation. So you know, I have my issues. You can see the difference. This is already drying down really matte on my face. This one, it's got a natural finish and it does feel nice. I must say, it does feel nice, and it already feels like if you've got dry skin, dry normal skin, you'll like the feel of this one. But yeah, this one is already giving me a very smooth matte finish. This one is slightly tacky. So all I'm going to do now is just set my face as normal with my powder. So in this stage, again, for those of you who don't know, I've got very oily skin, and one of my oily skin hacks is to set my face after putting on the primer with the powder. So I tend to use a damp sponge to do that. So I'll just do that now, and I'll probably speed through this section in the video. That's done. I'll just ignore the little white marks that are on my face. Let's put the foundation on. So let me just read what it says about this foundation on there. Okay, so what we've got is, let's get my website up. So on the original website, this is the lacolors.com website, it says this Truly Matte Foundation. It's available in 14 shades. Let me show you. The shade I've got highlighted there is the darkest shade, which is Mahogany. So you've got 14 shades, and it looks like you've got a decentish range of colours there. It looks like there's a jump between the very lightest colour and the shade next to it, but again, you never know until you see the colours in front of you. And again, it looks like there's a jump in between some of the darker shades as well. But you know, we shall see. So the shade I've got, as I said, is Cappuccino, and that's the second to last darkest shade. In America, the product costs $6. $6. Come on. And what it says on the website, it doesn't say very much about the product at all. All it says is, the long-wearing high pigment formula applies as a liquid and blends to a beautifully matte powder-like finish, available in 14 shades to complement a wide range of skin tones. That's it. That's all it says. No claims, no nothing, apart from it having a matte to powder finish. Now, as I said, it wasn't a product that was easy to find in Europe. So I did find the product, and let me show it to you. Because it was one of my subscribers who suggested to me, you know, could I try this foundation out? And I was like, yeah, but I don't think it's available in the UK. But then I had a look around and I found a website, and you're not going to believe where this company is based. Come on, just have a guess where this company is based, because you're not going to get it. It's actually based in Czechoslovakia. Yeah, I know, Czechoslovakia. So the company is called Absolute Cosmetics. The website is absolutecosmetics.eu. I will put the link down below. So if this is something you're interested in buying later, you can get it from there. And they charge, because again, usually when a product is from America and over here, the prices are usually completely different, and it can be quite expensive, especially if it's a product that's not easily available. So, you know, demand and supply. But the price, listen to this, is €4, €4.69. And that includes tax. And look, there you go. And they've got all the shades that are available. How amazing is that? So I actually ordered the product online, and I ordered a lipstick to go with it as well. And it came a week later. There was a shipping charge, but it wasn't anything extortionate. So basically I spent, I think it was in total, including shipping, it was about £10.50. You can't even get some of the drugstore foundations over here for £10.50. So if you like the result of this foundation at the end of the day, you know, it's something that, you know, you might consider purchasing. So and it says on their website exactly the same thing as it says. Basically, they just copied the information from the LA Colours website. So let's just put the product on, shall we? So again, I am going to speed through the application. So here we go, one sponge. So that's the consistency. It's a typical sort of thick, creamy consistency. The colour looked good for me. So it's a nice neutral sort of olive undertone. So that's fine. When I looked at the bottle initially, I thought, oh boy, this is going to be another colour that's too light for me. And I've already been criticised quite a bit by several people who watch my videos, criticised me for using shades that are too light. They've called me a few names and they said, oh, why do you do that? Why don't you put on a darker shade? Who do you think you are? And it's like, oh, come on. I do try to use the right shade if I can. If I get it wrong, I get it wrong. But sometimes things do look different on camera than they do on me, even though one of the followers disagreed with me completely, basically saying that it doesn't matter what the camera's like, you're just got it wrong, you're just trying to put a lighter shade. It's like, no. If you want to see the conversation with this person, just look onto my Bobbi Brown Long Skin Wear foundation. She was quite critical of my application and my approach to foundations, and there was nothing I could do right by her actually. And again, I welcome constructive criticism, but I don't welcome attacks on me. I think it's totally unnecessary. I'm not a makeup artist, I am not professional. I never said I was a professional. I'm just the ordinary woman trying out foundations because I love foundations, I love makeup, and I love trying products out. If I can help and advise other people to make choices, then I will, but you don't have to follow what I say. I'm just giving my opinion, and that's what I try to do. Just try to give my opinion. You can disagree with me, no problems with that, but just try and do it in a constructive and friendly way. There is no reason for personal attacks at all, and it's something I actually don't like. I see that quite a lot in the YouTube beauty community where people really do go for people. There's no need for it, because would you do that to someone in their face if you met them on the street? I wonder. So why do you think it's appropriate to do that online behind a keyboard and the camera? It's not. I'm still a human being as well. Don't go for me like that. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm always going to make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. I know that, and I learn from it. And if I learn from it, hopefully you can learn from my mistakes or don't make them at all as well. But as I said, I'm not an expert. Anyway, let me apply the product and stop rambling. Let me bring you in so you can see. So that is one pump on this side of my face. I'm looking on camera, looking in the mirror. On camera, it looks still quite blotchy over here. I hope you're seeing that the colour is actually okay. And it dries down beautiful. I mean, that is a beautiful matte finish. It really is. That is a good matte finish. It blends out very easily. I mean, I know I've tried some foundations recently where I'll be doing that all day long just to try and get an effect, but you have to work fairly quickly, but it does give you time to blend it out. Not getting quite, hasn't covered up some of my blemishes there. Let me see if I can do that. So you're still seeing some of my skin through, but I think for coverage wise it's giving me a solid medium to full coverage. But I do like this coverage, and I actually wouldn't put more than one pump on, because that to me is fine. And for those of you who want more fuller coverage, definitely put another pump on. But I mean, I think for me that is enough. And if you look at that side of my face compared to this side of my face, you can see what I mean by the coverage. Yeah. Okay, let's do this side of my face with the brush. Anyway, so one pump again. Okay, so that's the brush, and again I would say this is a solid medium to full coverage. I actually think that the blender side, and you might disagree, but I actually think the blender side is actually giving me a fuller coverage. Let me see how it dries down, because it's not quite dry as yet, but I do like the coverage of this foundation. So 2 pumps does it, none of this 4 pumps, 6 pumps, max factor 10 to 14 pumps. Now this is actually a good coverage, and I like that. I like the colour as well. Oh, this is good. Right, let me just bring you out so you can see the colour compared to my neck. So a little bit of a striptease going on here. My neck and my chest. So can you see how the colour is? Hope you can see. Let me bring it down a bit so you can see without exposing too much. So that's the colour compared to my face and my neck. Looks alright, yeah? I'll just do a little swipe on my chest so you can see. So that's just a little swipe just there. Let's see how this blends into my chest. So compared to my chest, it looks a little bit red, but I think I can get away with that. Can you see that okay? Yeah, I think that's alright. I think that's okay. My neck is a little bit darker, so that's why I blended the foundation down there a little bit. But yeah, I think that's alright. So really what we want to see is if it oxidizes or not. Let me bring it back out again there. We want to see if that oxidizes or not, and then how it performs for us today. What I normally do, I look for minimum 4 hours of control of oil. After 4 hours, I'm okay with. But I must admit, at the price of this one, I'm going to be kind of quite forgiving, to be honest. So that will affect my score at the end of the day, because I have got an idea of how this foundation performs already. But here we go. Let me give you the time of application. As I said, it is a late start today, and I did have a phone call just then, a work phone call, even though I'm supposed to be off sick. There we go. So the time now is 11:45, call it 10 to 12. Let's just call it 12. So at least minimum 4 hours, and I'll probably try and come back about 5, 6 o'clock. I'll probably have the ring lights on as well, so you'll see how the foundation performs then. So now I'm just going to finish the rest of my makeup, and I'll come back to you with the finished look in a moment, okay? okay. Actually, this would have been alright for Valentine's night if I was going anywhere, but I ain't. So there you go, that's the finished look. So as I said, I'll come back to you in a minimum of 4 hours, hopefully about 4 to 6 hours, and I'll let you know my final thoughts on how this foundation has performed. So have a good day, and I will see you later. Take care. Bye. Good evening, I am back, and I have been wearing the foundation now for over 5 hours. Oh, it is time. Let's have a look. Oh, it's just about 5.5 hours. So there you go. It's coming up to 5:30. Whoops, Daisy. So it's coming up to 5:30. So I've been wearing the foundation for 5.5 hours. So I've done my minimum, but I am actually ready to just take everything off because I really do need to just go back to bed now. So how did this foundation do? So if you recall, I did 2 different systems. So on this side of my face, I applied the foundation using a beauty blender, and on this side of my face I used a brush to apply the foundation. And the foundation I applied was the sort of relatively new foundation by LA Colors Truly Matte Long Wearing Liquid Foundation. How did this foundation feel? So as I said earlier, I've worn this foundation now. This is the 3rd day I've worn this foundation, and on the first day I wore it, I actually forgot to put setting spray on. Now, considering I have oily skin, that is a really stupid thing for me to do because I am not joking. I had to blot maybe 2, 3, 4 times during that day, and it was a long working day for me as well. On Monday, I think I worked. I think I started work early that day. I started about 9 o'clock. Didn't actually finish until 7 o'clock. So it was a really long working day, 10 hours. By the time I got home, had something to eat, and it was easy, near enough 11 hours before I took the foundation off, and the foundation was a mess. I had to. On the first day, I had to blot before 4 hours. It was about 3 hours when I blotted the foundation the first time because I could feel the oil breaking through. And I did blot several times during the day. And by the time I know by about 5 o'clock, no, it was about 4 o'clock-ish, I would say, because I had just come back from a visit, and I could see that the foundation had really melted and separated all around my particularly oily areas around here and under my glasses, because I was wearing that glasses that day, and there was some weird stuff going around under my glasses here. It had melted and collected, and it was doing all sorts of strange stuff. Monday was a really bad day for me in this foundation. Didn't set the foundation. Oil was breaking through really badly, and it melted and separated and faded. It did everything that I hated in the foundation, and I'm glad I actually didn't do my 1-day test of the foundation. Tuesday, I did set the foundation this time, and I used I used my Becca primer, and I applied the foundation with a brush all day. Didn't work so long yesterday, and I'm trying to remember now. So I didn't get to work until 10 o'clock, and I finished at 5, so I did a sort of 7-hour day then. It was 5:30, so by the time I got home it was about 6 o'clock. So it was about 8 hours in total I was wearing a foundation for. And again, same thing, oil started to break through about 3 hours, and again same areas. It had started to melt and separate, not so much of the fading, but definitely melt and separate again around my eyes, around my nose, under my glasses, and so forth. So today is the 3rd day, and today, as I said earlier, the differences were that I use a sponge and a brush. So let's see how it has performed, and this time I'll use my rating system to judge the foundation. And just to remind you, when I judge the foundation, I judge it on my skin type. So I have got very oily skin. The results could be, and probably will be, completely different for someone who has got dry, normal, and even maybe combination skin. You may get a completely different result from me, but this is for me and for anyone who I think has got very oily skin like myself. So please remember that when you look at the score I get, because if you have dry skin or normal skin, you'll definitely have different results. And if you do, and if you have got this foundation and you've tried it, let us know how you got on with it. Again, just share that information with others so they know what to expect from this foundation, because I dare say people are going to want to buy this foundation, particularly at the price that I mentioned earlier, but was it €4.69 or $6? People are going to want to try this foundation. So let's go through this. So I'll be using my rating system called TOPS, and TOPS stands for T stands for transfer, the O stands for oil control, the P stands for performance, so whether the foundation melts, fades or separates. The second P stands for price, and the S stands for the shade selection available. So let's do this. When I do the transfer and the oil, I tend to use blotting sheets, and I sort of look at the blotting sheets to see if there's any oil that comes through there, how much oil comes through, and if any foundation comes through. I already know about the transfer on this because I know this foundation does transfer, particularly once the oil starts to break through. So I know that already. Yesterday and the day before, when I wore the foundation, I do inspections. I carry out inspections in food businesses, and I wear a white hat, and the foundation transferred terribly on the white band of my hat, terribly. And I tend to use blotting sheets like these just to do all of that. So now I think it's literally just, for some reason, I don't know why, maybe I haven't been touching my face that much, but there has been transfer onto clothing, so it does transfer. And oil, well, oil started to break through again all days. It breaks through after 3 hours, which is actually quite quick because my minimum is 4 hours. I like to see if the foundation can control oil for about 4 hours. So I am seeing oil on this side and even on my forehead. The ring light is bouncing a lot of light off the oil, so it does look a lot worse. But oil up here, oil up there. I was wearing glasses earlier, so I don't know if you can see. I'm hoping you can. I'm going to see if I can bring you in a bit more, see if that helps you to see. But you can see that just along my nose here, there is some collection of the foundation just onto my frame where the glasses were. So particularly on this side, but not so much on that side. It's starting on this side, but it's definitely more apparent on this side. I'm actually going to speed up because the camera is actually running out of power again, which is typical for me. So I'm saying for transfer, let's do the blotting sheet thing first. So we've got one here. One sheet, okay, oil and foundation, that's one sheet. Yeah, so we've got 2 sheets here clearly of oil and foundation, so that gives me a good idea here actually. So for transfer, I am going to give this foundation a 6 because it does transfer, there's no doubt about it. Actually, I'm going to give it a 5 because it does transfer. And for oil control, it doesn't really hold back the oils too much, so I am actually going to give this a 3.5 for oil because it was way below my minimum 4 hours, so 3.5 for oil. Performance, so does it fade, melt and separate? A little bit of fading up here, but not too much, but there's been a little bit of fading up here. Some fading along here, again on my upper cheek areas. These are my most oiliest areas, so there is some fading. It has collected and has separated, so again, not fantastic. So again, I'm going to give this, say, a 4.5 out of 10 for that. For price, well, it's €4 or $6. 10 out of 10. I don't need to say anything more. For shade selection, well, the shades, there's 14 shades available, which is actually quite good for a cheap foundation, and they seem to have covered all the shade ranges. I don't know what the undertones are like. The shade I've got, the undertone was fine for me, but I don't know what the other shades are like, so I don't know if the lighter shades have got yellow undertone, which can make people look really orangey, and I don't know if the darker shade, mahogany, has got very red. So again, I don't know what the undertones are like, but for me, this was fine, so I'm actually going to give this an 8 out of 10 for shade, because I actually think, for me personally, it was actually quite good, and I think it's quite good for a very cheap drugstore product. 14 shades is not bad, and they seem to have kind of covered all the shades from very light to fairly dark. They could go probably darker, and I'm assuming they could probably go very lighter as well. So I actually don't think that's too bad. Overall, I actually think this product, for what it is, for €4.5 and for $6, this is a darn good product. Again, do be aware that if you are oily skin, the oils are going to break through. There's no doubt about it, so make sure you go prepared. Do all your oily skin hacks. Bring your blotting sheets and your powders and whatever with you if you're going to wear this product. it does give decent coverage. So if you're someone who likes full coverage, you're going to like this because it's a buildable foundation, and one pump can give you sort of a light medium, and you can build it up to full coverage. So you're definitely getting that. And I keep going on. The price is fantastic. So I will link the site down below where you can get it from for us in Europe. It's not available in the UK yet, but I'm sure that will change. But we can get it very easily here if you're willing to buy things online. But so if you're buying it from the UK, I'd probably suggest buying maybe 2 colours just to make sure, and you might need to mix. I don't know, but do have a look and see what you need to do. But yeah, I would recommend this foundation, even though some of my scores might be a bit low, but because of the price and you can do stuff with it, so you can make it work, I think it's actually worth just giving it a go if you just want an everyday foundation to wear. It's not a foundation for going out, and I don't know what the flash photography is going to be like, so I will take a picture with a flash to see how it photographs with flash photography as well. Alright, but let me know what you think if you've tried this foundation, and if it's something you want to try out yourself. But please let me know. All I can say now is thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up down below, and if you haven't subscribed as yet, hey, come on girl, this girl wants to get to 1,000 subscribers, so please don't forget to subscribe down below. If you press the little bell next to the subscribe button, that will notify you when I do my next upload. Rest of this week I should be doing maybe another couple of unboxings. I'm just waiting for things to arrive. I want to do a video as well when I'm trying out products that I've received in my February boxes. So as soon as I've received all of my subscription boxes this month, I will be trying out all the products that I've received. Well, not all of them, the products I can try. Right, that's it. I'll shut up now because my battery is literally going to die. So take care, and I will see you soon within the next couple of days. Alright, have a good evening. Bye.